Hello, everyone, and welcome to On the Movies with Adam and Jake. I'm Jake,
And I am Adam.
and this week's movie was selected by Adam, and it is A Life Less Ordinary. So, what we do is we take a movie, I got out of order a little bit. We take a movie, we answer a few questions, just talk about it, answer a few simple questions about it. And as we said, this week's movie was A Life Less Ordinary, which was released in 1997, directed by Danny Boyle, written by John Hodge, starring Cameron Diaz and Ewan McGregor. You want to do the synopsis for this film?
Yeah. Upon being fired, a desperate guy kidnaps a daughter of his former boss. Then two angels are sent to Earth to check if love is possible in this case, and if it's possible, or if divorce is taking over. So that's pretty much the basis of the movie.
So, I'll take this first since you'd seen this movie before, right?
Yeah, I'd seen the movie. I've probably seen this movie probably 15 times.
Oh wow, okay.
Yeah, I've seen it quite a few times.
All right, so I'll take it first. Initial reaction after the movie.
Had you heard of the movie at all?
I, not really.
Okay.
I know
Okay.
Danny Boyle, but I didn't. And I'll say Danny Boyle Trainspotting was my introduction to Danny Boyle, and that movie kind of like scarred me for life. But the one that I really liked was the Steve Jobs movie that he did
Right.
a few years ago. And Aaron Sorkin written Danny Boyle collaboration. But initial reaction after the movie, I I thought it was enjoyable. I really did. I don't see myself watching it. Like, I don't know if I would have gone out of my way to watch it,
Yeah.
but having watched it here, I felt like the hour and 30 minutes that I spent watching this film was completely worth it.
Okay.
That the I think the biggest thing was the characters were really well defined.
Right.
I really did appreciate that. And you kind of saw where things were going and you kind of understand, like you just kind of know what's going to happen
Yeah.
in this. But I'm okay with that because of how light and I wouldn't even say it was fun, but it was fun, but how light and just, what's the word I'm looking for? I don't
Well,
know.
I understand what you're saying. Never feel really that these characters are in true danger.
That's it.
Like there's not a true. I mean, there's an obstacle for the angels,
Hmm.
but once you realize what's going on, you realize, or I did, and I think you did, that these characters, where they're going. You know the third act. You might not know how they're going to get there, but you know where they're going to be.
Yeah, and I think the thing I like about movies like this, and this is a very, very, very difficult thing to do, and this is what I appreciate about it, and this is something that I always want to accomplish with my films. That's why I'm glad that I got to watch it, is you feel the stakes of the movie, but at the same time, you know that like death is not really the option.
Yeah, yeah,
So it's like you still feel for the characters and you still feel for the story and you still want to know what happens, but it's not a life or death situation.
yes.
And the Bottle Rocket was another one. I keep going back to Bottle Rocket. That's probably been my favorite discovery since
Really?
this. Yeah, it finally came in. So I watched the first half of it last night because I watched
Okay.
this movie earlier in the week. But yeah, you just like you never feel like the character's in extreme danger, but at the same time, you're still involved in the story.
Yeah,
And
I
that balance is so difficult to find.
think so.
But whenever I see it, I'm like, I gotta latch onto that. I gotta figure out
Yeah.
how they did that. And that's how I felt. You nailed it perfectly. That's exactly how I felt at the end of this.
Yeah. I saw this movie not when it came out, but I saw it years later, and it was a big hit. Well, I don't want to say big hit, but it was bigger in Europe, in London, And when I was over there, I would see posters of it, and they had the screenplay, so I picked it up because I often pick up screenplays. But when I first saw this movie, when I first saw it, I'd read some hype about it in Entertainment Weekly, and I was a little let down due to the hype. However, after adjusting and rewatching it and reading the script, I really came to appreciate the movie, and I visit it pretty often. Pretty often, at least once, sometimes twice a year. It does have some flaws, but I enjoy it, and I think it's an ambitious piece that doesn't truly pay off, but I can see what he was trying to execute with only $12 million budget as well.
Mm-hmm.
So it wasn't a huge budget movie, but you can tell it's kind of a small movie with no special effects or anything like that, no explosions. So I enjoyed it, but I was slightly disappointed. But I have came to appreciate it more each. I don't want to say each time I've watched it, but over the years.